Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is me, Dukect, back with you once again. How are you doing this evening? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're doing well. And I got some stuff to talk about. So here we go. Let's talk a little about some James Gunn and his new DC slate. And yeah, I think this is going to be very interesting. And people are saying this is not a good idea, and some are saying this is not connected and everything. But it seems that there's actually something here because there's going to be a Superman movie for in 2 years, and James Gunn's writing it. There is going to be a Wonder Woman, Home Island, Game of Thrones style stuff with them scared called Paradise Lost and Creature Commandos. So, well, let's get into it. I mean, this is again 3 months, and they've been planning, and James got a lot of hate, and Peter Safran got a lot of hate too. But this is again something. I am a fan of. Like I said, I am a fan of the whole Snyderverse. I liked it and everything else, but this reboot needed to happen. There needed to be consistency, and right now, this is what they're going to have. I like James Gunn. I like some of his stuff, and his Suicide Squad was coherent, unlike the last one. But let's see what happens when he does. And here we are. They're going to use the strategies here, right here. Quote, this is a Hollywood Reporter, by the way. It's like, which is Batman, take our diamond characters, which is Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and use them to prop up other characters to build these lesser known properties into the diamond properties of tomorrow. And this is the chapter one of the new phrase or whatever called, let's see, once here's chapter one, Gods and Monsters. And here it is. And not only this, it's going to be very interesting because they're looking for people who are going to voice. They're going to be like this total synergy, not just voice acting, but also video games. All this is going to be one thing, something I wanted MCU to do, but I hope they can do it, but actually make sure the actors and everything else is, healed and all this. Like, wow, this looks really good. Something that's actually something that is not just the actors don't get burnout, but also I want the products to be good as well. So this looks like is going to be something interesting to look into. For example, the first thing is going to be Creature Commandos. Basically, a classic team of monsters assembled to fight. It was from to fight Nazis, which sadly that's still around. All the Nazis, but it looks like it's going to be a modern take of the concept. Hopefully, they will talk to the people from Doom Patrol, and that type of like weird type of concept, and at least talk to them and say, okay, how are we going to fit the weirdness of this stuff and make it palatable? And then hopefully they can find people who can do voice acting, but also doing live action versions. I don't think they're going to do live action. I don't know. I think the guy who's playing the Flame Dude right here, and the lady here are not going to be like, putting like, they're going to probably be in CGI. They're going to do voice acting anyway. Majority of people are going to be voice actors anyway. You're not going to see their faces. I guarantee, or Weasel or anything else. They're not going to be in the CG. They're going to be in CGI stuff and everything else. They'll probably have somebody else doing the CGI stuff and just have them just, voice act there. That's what I would do personally, in my personal opinion, but save time. But anyway, but yeah, this is like the first one, Creature Commandos. That's going to be the live. That's what it is. Waller, a spinoff of the HBO Max series Peacemaker. It's going to be basically, just a side quest, a side series of her being part of the Suicide Squad and everything else. And Viola Davis, who does a really good job here. It's written by Crystal Henry, Watchmen, and Jeremy Carver from the creator of the Doom Patrol series, which I was surprised he like I said, Jeremy Carver was not involved with the Creature Commandos. Not saying James Gunn doesn't have the weird stuff too. I mean, not just Guardians of the Galaxy, but also Slither, all this type of stuff. So yeah, I think that could be very interesting. I can't wait to see more of that. Then you got Superman Legacy, that looks like it's going to be um and made direct. So I'm saying, still exactly this is gonna be the true kickoff of the duo's DCU plans. It's not an origin story. It's focused on Superman balancing his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing. And this is something I wish, man. I love Man of Steel. I watch it, but hopefully they actually do try to connect both of that whole kindness and empathy. In the world of kindness is not really important. Kindness and empathy in this world, let's say this country, is looked upon as cynicism, and people look at cynicism and cynicism is the new way of being clever and everything. It's a way of being that, and I hope this new Superman can actually bridge the gap, to bridge the gap, to make sure that maybe Superman can be that legacy, to be that great, to be connected, all this stuff. Then we got to Lanterns and Greg Berlanti's. This has been so long. I mean, it's getting to the point of Duke Nukem Forever, but stuff. I mean, heck, right around with Black Adam and such. It's been, but sadly, it's going to be scrapped. Sadly, but a new take with Space Cops with Power Rings, and this is going to be a True Detective version. Interesting. So Hal Jordan and John Stewart will basically, lanterns. Looks like something like that. Which, if you watch True Detective, which I watched the first season. Great stuff, but I don't know how you're gonna make Green Lantern and turn into True Detective, because that is very, just very depressive, very sad, and very just type of like noir stuff. That the Lantern stuff is just, I don't know. Can they do it, but also have like that hope in that there? Because quite honestly, I don't think you could do that type of vein of True Detective and be a little positive. It's just, I think it's going to be a bit jarring if you don't need, you got a needle, you got to hit that right there. And I don't think, I hope they can hit it. And the Authority right here is the very interesting stuff here. The Authority, based movie based right here toward superheroes with rather extreme methods of protecting the planet. That force originated in the late '90s under an official imprint known as Wildstorm, run by artist and now head of DC Publishing Jim Lee. One of the things DCU is not just a story of our heroes and villains. Not every film and TV show is going to be about good guy versus bad guy. Giant things come from the sky and good guy wins. There are white hats and black hats and gray hats. And they are kind of like Jack Nixon, if you get men. They know that you want them on the wall, or at least they believe that. And once upon a time, there were just the regular type of the Authority really were like that um that type of stuff in the comic books. I haven't read much of that because there are fans of it. I want to talk this. I want to see how they can do this and fit it in the whole DCU. Paradise Lost, which I'm more interested in this one, because even though I'm not really a fan of Game of Thrones, I think it's just, it could be a little iffy. I want to see what the Wonder Woman, more mythology about Wonder Woman and such. The mascara, all these things could be before the events of Wonder Woman films. This and basically be a soft reboot, and I think they're gonna choose Wonder Woman, a new character, Wonder Woman, and since Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot is on the outs, especially Patty Jenkins, who I remember she was gonna have this new the Star Wars movie, all this stuff. Then Wonder Woman 84 happened, and then everything just dried up. All of it's gone. It's gone. I mean, I don't know what happened. Someone had like, I don't know if it's possible just in a director, let me see, in the scene to being a one hit wonder. Let's see, what happened to her? Let's see, I mean, let's see. I mean, at this point, she was, um, yes, she has Wonder Woman. And see, Monster, Wonder Woman, 184, and then just I am the Knight, which is a limited TV series, yada yada yada. Yeah, it's on TNT. Huh. Dang. She just like lost all of that stuff here. Dang, she was here and then just gone. And I don't know, they're gonna have to recast Wonder Woman and probably get a new director, which is a shame because I did love Wonder Woman the first. That was the perfect one, but yeah. But then Brave and the Bold, this is the institutional DCU Batman, is also saying, Damian Wayne, which oh boy, that's boy. I call him basically the Scrappy Doo of Robins, and I mean that's a bit of a step. I mean, I hope like Dick Grayson is somewhere around or Jason Todd, but man, it's just oh boy, I I don't like this. I hope this works because it might not. I don't know what it's gonna be, but yeah. Um, but yeah, and also he says this is going to be the Elseworlds. By the way, all the stuff that's about for uh, DC right now is on Elseworlds. This right here will be the true DCU stuff. So Batman and they're going their own thing in Batman and sequels. They're calling it Elseworlds, which I think is good. Um, let's see. HBO Max series is Booster Gold, which hopefully at this point, if Mike Mazarian, aka the Miz, not playing Booster Gold, what are we doing here? I mean, him. I mean, seriously, why isn't Warner Bros. Not calling him up for like, you know, Johnny Cage and this character? Just seriously, maybe I'm a wrestling fan. Maybe I just see that in Miz or whatever. Maybe I'm a little bit like biased, but I think, like I said, I believe Boost. I think he would be a really good Booster Gold, and Johnny Cage, maybe just me. And here we are, Swamp Thing, which is looks to be cool. I love the TV series. You should watch it. It goes off with weirdness in the end. It lives in a weird place, but when it was really good, it was really good. I love Swamp Thing. Then you got Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, which is this looks like going to be very interesting Supergirl because this is like the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow looks like it's going to be a difference between Superman, who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents from the time he was infant, versus Supergirl raised on a rock and chip off of Krypton, who watched everyone around her die and be killed in terrible ways for the first 14 years of her life, and then just something really different of she doesn't have kindness. She is rough around the edges. She's not going to be the television version of like Supergirl and such. When we saw in anything else, this could be something a Supergirl that learns her humanity, finds it and starts caring and being close to and doing that stuff, and how you know being protecting people and such, which looks to be very interesting to see. But yeah, um, but yeah, right here, this looks like it's going to be. Um, they say Gunn says it's going to be. Everyone's already hyping up with the Flash or whatever. I can't believe they keep hyping up the Flash. Um, it's weird. The greatest superhero. They are basically saying the Flash is great. I don't know why that is at this point. Is it just a open cost? Open some cost fallacy or something? Like they just can't admit that this thing could be bad. I mean, at this point, I don't know. Hopefully, it's good. We don't know at this point. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Hmm. But that's just. uh, but yeah, I hopefully it'll be good at this point. I don't know. Um, And he says that the people will could come back. I doubt. I mean, if Ezra Miller, man, this man's Teflon, so Ezra Miller might come back. Who knows? I think Shazam, Fury, the Boss. I'm no, I'm interested in see the Lost Kingdom, which is like that's a great Christmas movie. Uh, well, I don't know. Fine. It made money in December last year, so why not? Um, Izer's even committed to recovery, yada yada yada. Hopefully he is, but he should be in jail. He should go to jail for all this stuff he's doing and get himself kicked out. Like, yeah, he went to jail and be like, yeah, he went to jail and everything. So after all that, I'm like, you know what? All right, you went to jail. You did your time. Then you get then you're like, hey, you served your time. You did all this stuff. Then that's all right. That's just me. Hmm. And also, they're looking to, really are trying to do all this, like actors who play big parts on screens, but also doing the television stuff. Um, they're saying they really want to be telling the stuff another story, having everything like that. So oh, wow. It's like he doesn't they don't and also he looks like they're not gonna cast Henry, but they never like he's a great guy. I think he's gonna dig around a lot of people, he said, but couldn't form the company. But this Superman is not Henry for a number of reasons. But yeah, I hope, you know. And also the Zachary Livy stuff, which to me I just find hilarious and I don't really care. I mean, y'all like, oh, I don't care about all that stuff, but some people are, but they're going to look at one DC universe, and some stories will tell apart. They're under DC Elseworlds, like in the comics, will fall outside the larger continuity of DCU. The Black Superman project, being written by Tanashi Coach, under previously being active in development, and will also fall under that category. Teen Titans Go, the popular running cartoon series, also falls under that banner. It's going to be that's what it is. It's all going to be the DC Elseworld project. So yeah, and they all talked about also the forced the dreaded saying and focused them befriended the dreaded feeling of superhero fatigue and also give the products a total dramatic difference of each other. Gunn called out the aggregation of screenwriters in Hollywood and also said the duo wanted to be respectful of voice of filmmakers they're working with up to a point. It's not the Gunverse. It's not. He said it's going to be all these different fields with different stories. That's what makes it so fun. The stories are completely different, and each has the individual expression of the writers and the directors are making this project. We're not stupid. Not every filmmaker is going to be happy, but if someone is doing something that isn't working, then we're going to be honest. And Gunn and Safran's hiring was coming, so half a year quest with the Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav to find someone in Division DC. He wanted to look for Kevin Feige, someone like that. So since Gunn is basically here, since all the other stuff would happen to him, the Gunn and all that stuff on Twitter, he said this is not going to be the Marvel 2.0. He says Zaslav said he had a vision in mind, a standalone studio that will have everything DC centralized. Safran said, and that was the appeal for us, coming in and having access to any character, any story, tell the story we wanted to tell across all mediums. Said, as Gunn said, the history of DC is pretty messed up, referring to the turmoil, disconnectivity that has world and for Warner Bros. Plans with comic properties in the last dozen so years. There was a filmmaker, Zack Snyder, multi-movie universe that sputtered halfway through. Thank you, Warner Brothers, for all the backstage dickery, and the whole the attempted course correction by Joss Whedon. Screw you, Joss Whedon. That made things worse. Of course, it did. And there were several changes to the leadership and ownership. And then there was the Arrowverse. There's several, if niche TV side of DC that aired over a decade on the No one was minding the myth, said Guns. They were giving away IP like they were party favorites at any creator who smiled at them. For Gunn, being handed the keys of the comic universe is something out of a childhood dream. Growing up in St. Louis, Gunn described himself as a lost, screwed up kid who didn't feel like he belonged. And he, looked at comic books and just, he said his father and mother were so connected, so concerned that he sent him to a psychiatrist who advised him to take interest in his interests, or happened to be reading, writing, and drawing comic books. When on tap by connecting, Gunn's father took him to Creation Comic Con, a big comic convention in Chicago, it remains the best weekend he's ever had. At times, that's a look blood and magic and connection to the medium and its colorful characters. And he just wants to have that connected to DC, like connection with moviegoers by remembering DC Studios in a way that has been done before. I have an incredibly deep connection with these characters to these stories. The one to connect the type of man not only I had in a kid that I was, but in the connection I had with my father, with friends later on, Gunn explained. I wanted to create a unified world in DC where we tell stories. In the end, both Gunn and Sony knows that not only what's at stake, but also the enormous opportunity being presented for them. For Saffron, it's a chance to impact and change culture, but yeah, a company culture of how it approaches storytelling to the broader popular culture. Gunn lit up in getting us to the pure magic of it all. This is not only once a lifetime opportunity, it's a once opportunity. It's me now. No one's ever gotten to do this before, and how can I say no to that? So at this point, yeah, most of it is he really wants to see if we can do something. But I do want to see what's going to be Creature Commandos. Hopefully that's going to be the first one, or I think the first one is going to be them. All this stuff here. I don't know how it's going to be connecting, but maybe it's all going to start up. And honestly, I think this could be something really interesting. Probably DCU will probably have a big left for over Marvel because right now Marvel's not looking so good. Let me just see something right here. Let's see. I think it's something here. I gotta look. And let's see. Let me just look at here. Oh, yeah. Let's see right here because I think right here we can find it. Uh, right here. The boys are beat every Marvel. It's sponsored by Prime Video, but the most watched superheroes last year. It says while the Marvel Cinematic Universe is churning out some of the biggest TV shows on the planet, it looks like a new head honcho is on the small screen. And you got like this is talked about um bigger than Moon Knight, Seahawk, Attorney Law, What If, and Miss Marvel. But yeah, they've pretty much are one of the most biggest shows, the boys. And yeah, let's see. Let's see. Nielsen has released its 2022 viewership data. The viewer watch the biggest shows, and it looks like Stranger Things, uh, Ozark, the Cobra Kai, Bridgerton, and Netflix had a really good year. Even though now they're basically trying to blow it up with the whole password situation, which hopefully they should fix right now because people love Netflix. By the way, they love like I said, Stranger Things, Ozark, Cobra Kai, Wednesday, and Bridgerton. These are one of the most popular stuff right now. Netflix, for all of its worst, they are still one of the top people on the streaming stuff. They need to fix their stuff. They need to fix their stuff. They need to fix it. But then, you know, actually the streaming service took 13 or 15 spots, by the way. The only the two shows that didn't come from Netflix are The Boys, which came in 11th, with 10.6 billion minutes, and Lord of the Rings, Ring of Power, 9.4 billion minutes. Wow. I mean, hey, I didn't even care about Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. I just didn't really care for it. But hey, people seem to watch it and they seem to like it and such. So hey, that's all right. But again, like I said, there's a lot of the stuff here. Um, yeah, people just this is again, none of the Marvel shows cracked the top 15. Miss Marvel was given high honor, best reviewed, but no one watched. The boys, strong performance because it just looks like it could be like I said, third season up there. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be, that whole supergasm stuff, anything. But yeah, it looks like it could be. Amazon being this huge, huge thing. They're huge. Um, just beating up the stuff right here and this all this other stuff here, beating Marvel, beating all these stuff here. That's why no one, when you have this, none of the shows from Marvel cracking the top 15 list. Let me just go here. Let me just look at this right here. Um, I think there's going to be some changes in the MCU. All right. Let's see, because I think there was going to be, um, let's see. Hmm. Some different, yada yada yada. But there's gonna be some phase five and such. I'm trying to look for it because it used to be. Um, let's see, where is it? Gosh, I need to look because again, there was gonna be there's some real changes for the MCU. Because again, they were like they were looking a bit lost. They had like okay, everything's a little bit scatterbrained. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to look this because I know there's something here. Well, and such, because I do think there is a problem. Let's see if I can. This we was saying that was a lot of it. People saying this, they're not. They were disappointed. Uh, Phase four wasn't good. Marvel fatigue. All these other stuff here. Let's see, because let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Where is it? I know there was something because it was like. Hmm, let's see. Let's see. Where is it? There was a because there's again, like I said, phase there was been a bit of a lackluster stuff, and mostly because of COVID, and you know, like I said about Black Widow being really, I just because again, not just COVID and everything else had to just shuffle everything around, but also it was I think it was just too much too soon. There was a lot of just putting all these things just putting all this stuff here, just putting all these weird random stuff, and it just didn't really congealed pretty right. It felt like it never really congealed to be a really tight story. Everything just fade into weird places and such. That's what it feels like when I look at most of these movies and I look at most of these shows. It just feels just off. A lot of them are just it just feels off. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them just fell off, and they needed to really just shake the, rewrite some stuff because again they were spending money all this type of stuff, and now the crunch is here because people are not watching Disney Plus as much, and they need to make it profitable, and Disney Plus is not profitable. Um, they're going to be operating at a loss. Which is again, let's see. Plus, let's see. And it says it will be profitable. Will it be profitable? They're saying it will finally be profitable next year. But yeah, right here, let's see if I can just put this up here. Like I said, this is a business stuff, but it connects, ladies and gentlemen. It connects. It keeps growing fast, but loses 1.5 billion. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not really. They're not exactly. It's double exactly. It doubled its loss of 630 million. And we have shows from Star Wars, Marvel, all these things, and even then, Star Wars. I mean, Andor didn't. It didn't get its audience. Um, Again, there's a lot of stuff that says, "Oh, we got this, we got that," but no one seems to watch. They have all these subscribers, but then no one's watching. And now just no one's watching, but are they even subscribing and such, Um, this is an old one, but it's like his former executive Bob Chapek. They're saying it's going to be profitable in 2024 next year. But with losses peaking, a lot of it just like, again, the inflation, which is here, and the recession, which probably going to come around in the summertime, they've lost around $4 billion. Yeah. And by the way, add on to that the Fox deal, which is going, thank you, Bob Iger, for that Fox deal, which is just going to just look brown like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, what did we do? We have put all this, we bought a studio, didn't get Sky, which, by the way, was one of the main things that Disney wanted, Sky, but they didn't get it. I think Comcast owns it and such. And now they're just like, oh goodness, we hold with Fox, with this studio with not many live action, huge moneymakers. You can say Avatar, that's great, but that's one franchise out of a whole studio with a lot of franchises that are not really popping right now. $2 billion is not going to save you when you have over $100 billion in debt. And now I wouldn't be. Now they're looking at this. Like I said, it just keeps losing money. They're not making any money. So I think if Netflix losing money, HBO Max, everybody's losing money in the streaming world. There are no happy winners, and if they can't get their stuff together, it's going to be a lot more cuts and a lot more focusing. And I think that's what's going to happen in Marvel and everything. They're like, okay, they're not going to have many TV series because they're like, well, we've been doing all this other stuff and floating all this stuff around. We got to do some cuts, like cut, and maybe do some cuts and everything. Maybe the shows that you thought were going to have a second season might not. Oh yeah. So, and then I think Loki. I wouldn't be surprised if the Loki series gets canceled after the second season. I wouldn't be surprised if the Agatha probably not gonna have as will probably get only for one season. There's gonna be a lot of one season shows, and the new Daredevil. I hope it works, but it's just going to be a lot of. I think they need to have focus, but the problem is Marvel. I think after Endgame, I think that was it. People like, okay, Endgame, but it's over. And even though there are people who went to saw the movies, most of them weren't really profitable. They barely made even. So at this point, I think the superhero fatigue is on the Marvel side at this point. And I think DCU is going to be, I think James Gunn is going to really look really smart by jumping off the MCU bandwagon and starting here. So I think you're going to see some really interesting things from the DCU. I think it's going to be a very fun time. I'm having a positive attitude, and that's the best way you have to look at it. I look at the positive attitude, ladies and gentlemen. But that's just me. Anyway, we're going to take a small little break. And when we come back, we're going to look at E3 2023 with no developers right here. Well, oh boy, it looks like this might be a very interesting one. Anyway, we'll be right back right after this here live on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me, Dukect Live on the Dukect Lounge. You can well, listen, like, subscribe, all that good stuff on the YouTube channel. Also, if you want to, you'll follow, you know, follow me on the, on going to talk show as well, and like and all that good stuff. All right. Thank you very much. I'll be right back right after this. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening to me, Duke CT. And let's get into this interesting story. And it looks like, well, it's time to bring out the taps. as Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox um, are going to be skipping to E3 2023. And honestly, it's well beyond time for it. Xbox says it's confirmed a physical showcase will coincide with E3, but yeah. And then Repop is confident in saying, "All right, the exhibitor lineup will make the trip to LA worth it." Oh man, I want that optimism. I love to have that optimism, baby. It's not the optimism is not here. I don't see it. But it's right there. It says sources told IGN the Xbox. The board here says sources told IGN the Xbox, Sony, nor Nintendo will be an official part of E3 2023 or have a booth on the show floor at the Los Angeles Convention Center when the annual trade show returns in June 2023. The first year E3 has been physically hosted since 2019, with the last 3 years replaced by because the whole pandemic, which is still happening, by the way. So, be safe, wash hands, mask up if you need to, or all the other good stuff, vaccines, all that good stuff. Be safe and all that, because it's still out there. All right. So, but yeah, Sony has been it's basically Sony hasn't been there since 2018, following disagreements with the Entertainment Software Association, the show's owner and usual organizer, and Nintendo. Basically a big draw on the show for. However, sources told that BCC they tell me didn't expect to have a major release to showcase this year. I mean, they have Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, and also you have Nintendo Direct. I mean, they've been, Nintendo Directs has basically been one of the smartest things Nintendo did when they, I don't know, when did they start with the Nintendo Direct? I gotta know. Was it Wii U or, let's see, it has to be, because I heard rumors it's going to be a Nintendo Direct is happening next week. Oh, yeah, it started in 2011. Wow, that was a long while ago. So it was it was going to be yeah, it was just going to be it was something for Nintendo Direct. Nintendo Direct. Um it was basically started with the Wii U, and then after that it was just the 3DS, all this, and then Nintendo Switch, which is all the Nintendo Direct, and it just kept going and going. So yeah, they just basically they were like, yeah, we're good at. They just they were good with not doing the big performance and such. They were smart and not doing the big, huge, extravaganza for E3. They just dropped a Nintendo Direct, and everybody was like, "Ooh, let's go watch it." Ooh, we gotta go. Even if it's like at 7 o'clock in the morning, people are like, no, me too. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go watch it live. Watching it live because that's what we do. But yeah, so yeah, Nintendo Direct. It looks like Nintendo saw this coming in 2011, and they kept doing it, and now they're the trend, and now people are chasing after that trend. State of play, all this other stuff Microsoft does as well. They don't need to realize we don't need the big performance. You don't need the big stuff and everything like that. What they need to do is just show the games, have a little a person out there, to build like okay, some people who are part of the game have a little bit of personality, and bada bing, bada boom, there you go. And now Xbox, well, they are going to do it. They're going to have a physical showcase, but yeah, they're just like, yeah. They say they want to continue, but they're going to do something different this year. Yeah, it says right here, quote, we place our showcase like we always done at the time where hopefully it's convenient for press and even consumers that are going to E3 event. And that's what we're trying to do now. We will continue to work with the ESA terms of their plans. We're on the board of the ESA and want to make sure that what we are doing we make sure that we are doing everything we can to help make E3 successful. Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer told IGN. This is but also the report continues. While Xbox was not present on the show floor at 2000 E3 08 and 09, the Pop-Up Hoarder did have a rare games to play at the neighboring Microsoft Theater. In a statement, show organizer Repop said, E3 is such a significant event for the game industry. Being entrusted with an important cultural touchstone is not a responsibility Repop takes lightly. Since Repop took over the contract to run E3 6 months ago, we've worked diligently with ESA members based on their feedback to create a new type of E3 that supports their goals and needs. This process has taken time due to the tremendous amount of stakeholders offering input. We appreciate that we could have been more transparent to questions for which we were still finalizing the answers. We continue to work tirelessly to create a show that brings together the global gaming industry. We believe we created a new format for the event that serves the needs for both the industry and its fans, and are committed to building and growing in its coming years. As we spent much of 2022 refining how E3 2023 will take shape, reflecting on the feedback we solicited, we did not send a single contract to an expediter until the start of this month. We actually received tremendous amount of interest and verbal commitments from many of the biggest companies in the industry. Verbal commitments. Not in the writing. Well, there better be something in writing soon, because without the big three, you're not going to have. I bet those exhibitors are going to be getting a bit of a, the limber tail, if you know the whole JR isms of pro wrestling. But yeah, and we are going to ready to announce our exhibitors. The article continues, and when we are ready to announce the exhibitors, we are confident that will be aligned that will make the trip to Los Angeles well worth it for the industry and consumers alike. Exactly, yada yada yada. Oh, this is just going to be I think Repop. Was it Repop? The same people who do the let's see, the events, yada yada yada. Let's see what type of stuff they do. Oh, the Comic Con, Chicago, ESX, Emerald City Comic Con, Florida SuperCon, the game industry, all this stuff they do. Oh yeah, the New York City Comic Con, which I haven't been in a long while. Part of me wants to go back to New York Comic Con, but it's just too. I'm like, it's so much. It's too much. It's so much stuff. Too much stuff. I used to go. To New York City Comic Con. In fact, I still have one of these lovely little like 4-day things. Yeah, it was nice. Back in those days was nice. So I might, maybe one day I'll go to PAX East or PAX West. That'd be nice. That'd be real nice one day. One day. But until that time, I'll just look online. But yeah, anyway, it looks like it was but yeah, hopefully maybe Repop will be that type of event. Maybe will be that type of saving grace for the E3, but I doubt it. Because when you lose the three biggest people, you lose the three biggest stars out there, it's not going to get the people watching. It's not going to get people there. I'm a little bit worried for it. It looks like E3 might be DOA at this point, and it sucks. It really does. It really, really sucks. And because again, so much good memories, so many good memories, so many good memories. So many great memories of E3, of how all the stuff here, the games, the announcements, and all that stuff. I wanted to go there one day, but it looks like I'll probably never will, because there's nothing there. I wish. But you know what? Well, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose something. It looks like I took an L on this. But, who knows? Maybe one day I'll go to the nudity 3 and cross it off my bucket list. Anyway, that's it for the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sticking with me, Duke CT. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all Later.